That's right, guys. 350Z content is finally back. So technically, I started working on the 350Z yesterday. I bought the supplies. I was planning on just fixing it, getting it back up, and just enjoying it. I really wasn't planning on making a video, but I ran into some issues, and I figured why not just make a video, upload it for you guys so you guys can see what I have to go through to get the 350Z back up, at least for right now. So if you're unaware of what is wrong with my 350Z to begin with and why I haven't been driving it or making content with it, my management completely took a crap on me and just refused to work anymore. Basically, one day it was fine. I drove it out in my driveway, and then it was almost impossible for me to get it back up. The controller didn't read the proper PSI that was in the tank. The rears aired up fine, but the fronts, for whatever reason, only would put maybe about 60 PSI in the fronts, not nearly enough to actually lift the front off the ground, and it would just stop filling them up for some reason. Anyways, for now, I have been waiting for a brand new management system to be sent to me from a company that I've gotten pretty close to. I won't drop any names or anything until I get the management system. Granted, it has been 6 months since I was supposed to get it, but they have a lot of orders. They're working on new stuff. They said they're creating a new controller to begin with for it. So whenever they get the chance, hopefully they will still send me out the new management system. For now, though, this is what I'm planning on using as my quick fix. If you don't know what these are, they're just pressure switches. Basically, you run one line from the tank into these and the other line into the air strut, and then the switch just runs air directly from the tank to the strut itself. Obviously, no presets, nothing like that, just super basic, but it's also relatively cheap and gets the car back up because I can't really have it just sitting here, the gas continuing to go bad. I'm paying $100 of insurance on it every month for it to just sit here, so I really need to get it back up. And as I had said, yesterday I was running into a bunch of issues, mainly because of these guys here. So, as I had stated, these little metal pieces are where the air lines go into to make sure that you actually are getting air put into the strut. And this is what kept happening. They just kept popping off, which isn't supposed to happen whatsoever. In a way, though, it is my fault because I tried saving $30 by buying these off of a seller that I found on eBay that had them instead of buying them off of like Bag Riders or something like that. Mainly, one, to try and save money because I'm already spending money to try and get this car back up and I have a bunch of other stuff going on. And two, I figured switches are just switches and buying them from whichever place that I get them isn't going to be a difference whatsoever. And of course, I was wrong. Alright, so my favorite helper has come back. Jonathan has come to the rescue. So he found out that basically what the issue with these are is they're not pushed in enough. As you can tell, there's what they come like when I got them, and this is how far pushed in they should be.
No, it should be pushed in like that far. So there's like this little brass thing, it should be there.
Yeah. So there's a huge difference. So right now we are squishing these down as hard as we can to get them where they need to be. So hopefully this will fully fix the problem and then I won't have any more issues with this. Right now we're just running all the lines, trying to get everything figured out, and then if we can, we're going to get my car actually raised up, get it out to the street so we can actually work on it better. I know it looks like a hot mess, but as of right now we're just getting everything connected, making sure that none of these lines are touching the compressor and burning them so that there's no leaks. But right now we got the fronts, ran through the little grommet in there so that it's no longer just hanging on the outside of my window. We're going to try and get it up, try and take it for a quick drive, and then as soon as we have time we'll actually make it look pretty. Okay, so these are currently filling up. If you didn't see the video of my taillights, they are looking really good. They're wigging out a little bit, but still looking good. We're going to take it for a quick drive, wish us luck, hopefully everything goes good.
Thank you to the rears too.
I know.
This is probably the happiest man in the history of the world right now.
made it to Walgreens. It is leaking a little bit, but it's good enough to get us here. Okay, so it has been a number of days since I last picked up the camera, but the 350Z is pretty much complete. I have cleaned up all of the tubing and all that good stuff, so it does look a lot better. The only issue is I do have a leak in the driver's side. I actually have 2 leaks. I know where the leaks are coming from, but I can't really fix them at the moment, which sucks, but I can kind of explain why here just a little bit. But as you can see from in here, right now I just got the carpeting back in. I am actually going to make a cleaner trunk setup hopefully by this weekend. But as you can see, you can't really see any of the tubing or anything. And then if you go back here, there is a little slit there where the tubing is going through and it hooks up to my roll cage. And then from in here, you can't really notice anything unless you're fully looking at it. But behind the seat, there is a slit in the center console right there. In which case all the tubing runs through the center and to the switches, which I have made this little bracket piece here to hold those in. Now sadly, while doing that, the center console did get a little scuffed up, so it's not as pretty as it was, even though I just painted it, which was super annoying. On top of that, even though this is supposed to be a relatively easy job that took me like a day or 2 at the most, every little insignificant issue that could have happened was happening, as you guys saw with the initial like push pin things. We had to force those in just to make those work. That little bracket that I created did not want to get made. Here is my first template here, which is just made out of a little piece of aluminum, and it was all fine, but as you can see, these marks here, it was literally impossible for me to drill through it, and I don't understand why. I tried multiple drill bits, the Dremel, my drill, and I just couldn't drill through it for the life of me. So then I tried plexiglass because I thought that might be kind of cool because you can see through it, but every time I tried that, the plexiglass just snapped while I was trying to put the switches in. So then I was trying to find something that was flexible but sturdy and thin enough to fit in the little grooves, and kept trying a bunch of different methods. Turns out that plastic piece was actually perfect for the clip areas, so I finally made it out of that. That was just a whole mess. And then trying to get the lines to sit properly in there so I can get everything screwed back in and buttoned up the way that it needs to sit was also being a problem and not wanting to button up. And then of course the leaks, which as I had stated, I still have. So the first leak is actually where the switches are. That little metal piece that was the issue the first time is leaking again, but now it's not leaking from the switch part, it's leaking from where the air line actually hooks up. And I've cut the air line multiple times to make sure that the line is cut properly. It's not that. I think it's just the actual metal piece itself just is faulty somehow. Maybe the little grooves in it just have like cuts or something in them. But because of that, I can't stop the leak from that without buying a brand new switch. And the second leak is actually on the strut itself. I'll try and get a good spot for you if I can. But that little metal piece that's in there where the line hooks up to it is perfectly fine, but where the metal piece actually goes into the bag is leaking right there slightly, and I have no idea how to fix that fitting without completely taking out the strut and finding out how that fitting's even in there in the first place and see if I can find another one. But that's a leak that's going to have to stay until I can find time to fix that. So for the most part, it's not a huge deal. The only problem and concern that I have is I'm actually driving this car out to El Paso this weekend. So when this video is out, I should already be in El Paso, or the following day at least. So wish me luck that I made it there safely without destroying anything. That's really my only concern right now. I might just have to air that side up a couple times throughout the drive, which isn't a big deal, but I am still obviously worried about it. But other than that, the car runs, she's good to go, she's good to drive. But with all that being said, the 350Z is back up and running. I cannot wait to drive it. I've been wanting to drive it for days. Of course, the weather is crappy right now, but this week I'm going to get to drive it, obviously, and then I'll drive it all the way down to El Paso. I doubt we'll win anything. She hasn't had great luck, especially at those shows, so not really expecting to win anything, but just going to be happy to have her out there, have a good time with my friends. I will be vlogging the whole trip and everything, so you guys will have another trip vlog coming out. I know I just did the Vegas ones, but this one's going to be up for El Paso, so hopefully you'll enjoy that. So, as always, I appreciate you guys for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We are slowly moving up, and I am almost at 400 subscribers now, which again, doesn't seem like a lot, but I am very happy and thankful for each and every one of you. So thank you again. Click the like button, drop a comment, all that good stuff. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.